Hi all, Hal here with more Space Engineers, and yeah. So if you remember the last time when we were together, we were talking about building a big mining rig. Well, having talked to everybody, looking at the results of the poll, we decided to go ahead and scrap it to rework it, because it was just going to be easier to start over, because I have an idea of what I want to do. But first, we have to get started, so let's go. So, happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully, you had a fantastic week, or I should say, a fantastic weekend. Oh, so what we've done, or what we're doing, is we are going to build a utility ship. So, I've been thinking about it, and we were talking about doing the mining rig, and I'm going to do something with a mining system. But I think what we want to do is I want to build something a little bit more realistic and a little less, let's say, just completely over the top than what we were designing last time. Oh, so what I've done, just to show you really quickly what we've got going on here, we've gone ahead and put our landing gear in, we've got our block. I put a rotor to the side and added a control panel on it so that I could actually control this thing. And we put a small rotor head on it so that we could put a couple of solar panels and a very small battery. Now, the reason for this is because we don't need it to do much. We just basically need it to be able to charge the little battery. In fact, let us go ahead and set this up really quickly. We want small battery. We want you to be recharge only for right now. Now, the reason for this is because what we want to be able to do is we want to have a small jump start system set up. Now, I could have just put a small rotor head on this and then put a small battery in and been done with it. But I also want it to be able to generate a little bit of power, and I don't know if this is going to do that or not until the sun clears those solar panels, but that's okay because, it does have a little bit of power in it already. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is so that the rest of the grid, or I should say the rest of the ship, because it is technically a separate grid, is going to have some power. It gives us a little bit more control over what we're doing. And if we need to do something like put a reactor in, we don't have to worry about keeping it accessible because we have basically a little jumpstart reactor there to power our conveyor system. So that's, how many was that? I wasn't even counting. 2, 3, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that should give us enough height to basically do whatever we want. We're just going to bring this back a bit, and all we're really doing is using that as a mounting spur, just so that we have a little bit of room to get some things done. All right. So, what we're going to do, I have an idea of something that I want to try. I'm not sure if it's going to work. So for those who have seen the new intro for Space Engineers, there's one of the videos, they have a lifting platform, and I want to build something similar to that in concept. Basically, we're going to build a full ship, and we're going to have a hollow area in the middle, which will have our mining assembly on it. Our mining assembly will move up and down the tracks, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get this to work. And I wanted to walk you all through some of my design methodology because I've had people ask, if I would be willing to do something a bit more of a tutorial on shipbuilding. And I generally point you over to some of the folks like Haster or Oh, what is their name? Drawing a complete blank at this point. But there are a couple of tutorials. I'll throw links down in the description so you can see. Like, there are people who have done the evolution of crafting of ship design and building over the years, so you can see what the ship designs used to look like and what they're, what some of the popular ones are now. But what I wanted to do is to also give you let's just say, I guess a walkthrough of my of how I think about ship design. And I figured, well, we have to do this anyway, so may as well just walk you through the entire process. So I will apologize in advance if this seems a little scattered, because this is kind of how I do it. Right. So we want this to be big enough to have a mining assembly in the middle, and we want the mining assembly to be... Because what I'm thinking here is if we go 3 to a side...
Meteor storm inbound.
Yeah, of course there is. Probably help if I turn the meteor storms off during this type of stuff, right? That's 3, right? Yeah. Okay. And then we're gonna go 3 here. This is basically what we had done before. Or at least something similar to what we were doing before. Wondering where the meteors came down. Alright. And yes, I brought down another transport ship. I needed some uranium. They need to stop sending uranium transports my way. The Panda has gone full pirate at this point. Alright, so, yeah. That was a thing. Oh. Yeah, and I've gotten really good at taking out their flight control systems and leaving them with just enough thrust so that when they come down, they just kind of slide across the ground, take out the cannons on the bottom. So we will probably be getting rid of that cannon mod because I am having way too much fun with it off camera. Alright. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to try and make this 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we just need to do the same on this side. And one more, and we 2 and 3, right? Looks like it's mostly okay, right? What do you think? Good enough for government work, I think. Alright. So what we're going to do here is from the inside out. Let's go here. Let's go ahead and swap these out for a second. And this is the reason why I needed it to be at least 3 wide. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have a system that basically does this. Alright. And what we're going to end up with is a second ship that we're going to build in the middle of this thing. That we're going to put a merge block on. Actually, let me do that really quick and I can show you exactly what we're looking at here. I mean, this is going to be like the really just quick and dirty demo piece here. We're really just trying to get enough of this together to be able to show you what the mentality is on it. That's ring 1. 2. This is not going to be the final design, folks. So don't freak out too much. All right. You know what? Make it even easier. Let's do it this way. Build that up. And there we go. Alright, so now the idea is that we would have a ship built on the end of this piece. And what it's going to end up doing, something like this. Alright. And yes. I know I should probably take something else off the bar there, but it's okay. See, the problem that we run into now is that the front piece here mounts in. So what we'll end up doing is something like this. And you end up with a track on either side of it. That... Oh, auto rotate got turned back on again. Alright. So you end up with a track on either side of it like this. That this whole thing will have a runner that basically fits in that track on each side. Now it'll keep us basically in alignment. But like I said, I'm not sure if this is what I'm going to do with it or not. This is the concept, at least. And the idea is that what we'll do is, instead of having the merge blocks here, we'll end up with this being a couple of pistons above it. Probably, I don't know, like 5 pistons or so. Starting up just a little bit higher than this. Not much higher. Mainly because of the fact that we want to have enough space in here for this drill will eventually be a drill system to actually be solid. And the reason we're doing the runners like this, the railing, is because ultimately I want to have this be attached by a connector. That way we can disconnect it, have it drop into, you know, have some very basic thruster systems on it, so that it can go drop down, weld. Like if once the pistons are fully extended, it can disengage it, let it drop, and then have some kind of recovery system. I think I'm really overthinking this, and I may end up just scrapping this whole idea again, because I may just keep it on the piston. If I keep it on the piston, then I don't have to worry about trying to recover it. I mean, I could put a connector on the end of the piston, but that could be a problem. Because it would allow me to be able to actually drop the mining craft off somewhere, let it run, come back and pick it up. Or we could go with automated bots. Could do mining drones. How do I want to do this? See, I think I'm just overthinking it. I could just build a tunneler. Something like what we have with the mining craft over there right now. Just a large grid version. The mining vehicle that we have, if it does excavation, the larger of the 2 small grid ones, it'll actually make a big enough tunnel that I can fly through it easily if I just use the mining heads. So if I just use this as it is, it will actually be able to mine a tunnel through that I can fly through while gathering resources. So it works really well, and I need to take those off because they are not doing me a damn thing. you know what, while we're here, let's go ahead and just do this. Told you I was gonna probably end up jumping around a bit. What do I need? Large steel tubes. Really? Oh, because I don't... I keep forgetting. I don't have a large connector in there, or a large conveyor system in there. Everything is running through small pipes. Don't want that. Yeah, do it that way. There you go. Alright. Now that that's not bothering me anymore.
Energy low.
Alright, so what are we going to do with this? Because like I said, I want to have something where we have... I really want to have a deployable mining rig. But I don't know if that's going to be the way to do it. I mean, I could just do a piston with a couple of merge blocks. That might actually work out better. Means we'll have to build this higher so that I can build a craft attached to it. That might work. Alright, so let's scrap this idea. Well, we're going to scrap part of this idea. What we're going to do is, let me go ahead and grab these blocks back. And I might actually keep part of this concept, like the rail system. I guess that is actually big enough. Yeah, let's go ahead and take all the middle pieces out here. We'll leave the merge block section. Alright. So I'm thinking we'll leave the merge block in. And we will take everything from here. Right. Alright, so let's get rid of these. I really should get around to so we do that. These are airtight. So if we went I might need to bring that merge block back out one further. Let's check this. Is that enough room? That is actually enough room. But we don't want it to actually merge on that. So what we would end up doing then, something like this. Take you out of there really quick. And we would need it to go let's get rid of some of this stuff just really quickly here. We're gonna go something like this, I think. And the reason for this is we're going to have drill head. If we're going to put a drill on this thing, that could be anywhere close to this. We don't want it to be able to merge in here. And we already said that we know that this is far enough
Energy
back
critical.
for that. Now, Where is? Let's go down here for a second. And what we're going to do is we're going to test to make sure that this thing actually deploys the way we want it to. So if we come in here, we hit merge and toggle the block off. Yep, it will deploy. Ah, that's not good. All right, give me here, you. Oh, did it actually fall all the way through? It's unpowered, so it should. Okay, but that does tell us that it's going to work the way we want it to work, which is good. All right, so it just comes down to, do we need to make this any wider or not? Because the idea is what we're going to do is we're going to have probably a custom cockpit behind this. We'll have the merge block, have the drill on the merge block. I mean, I guess I could actually RC it. That could be interesting. It might be a little bit big to do as an RC. Alright, so if we do that. Alright, let's grab some parts here. This is the nice thing about having everything tied together. We're going to get rid of you, and we want merge block. We need to turn the other merge block back on. Come on. Oh, well, actually, while we've got it here. This is going to be the mining dock. Merge block. And then that way when we go to name everything else, and we're looking for it in the menu system, we'll be able to find it very easily. So that gives us that. So we do need to build the mining rig first, and then we're going to build the rest of the ship around that. So we said we wanted grab our drill really quick, because I think what we're going to do here, let's see, do I want to just have it, because if I put a drill here, I have to pipe around, or
No energy.
I could do this. Let's go with the vanilla industrial cockpit, which means we're going to need a conveyor block. And I don't have parts for conveyors. Let me go grab some interior plates really quick. Grab that, grab a couple hundred of those, and we're going to throw the rest of this stuff back in here. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's do that. To grab a little bit of power really quick. We don't need much. It's basically just to keep us out of trouble. Alright. I should probably do that in the cafe area inside, huh? That way you can at least look at the build as we go through. So we're gonna go like so. We want that there. And we're going to end up with a lot of repetition in here. Because we want the drills... Do I want drills on either side of this? Because we could do drills like this. If we do that, I need to... Let's see here. So... Let me just check, because I believe it's on all... Yeah, okay. So that means we would have O2 piped in through the bottom of the cockpit. We could do this, I think. I'm trying to remember if O2 generators are airtight or not. So if we did O2 generator... generator. That's going to give us a lot of excavation ability there. We'll probably have to modify this to be actually a walk around area. And we want to be able to get into and out of this thing. So that'll become the question, is how do I want to get in and out of the vehicle? Oh, look at you. Just floating up there like a little target waiting to be shot down. Alright. See, now here's where some of the design comes into it. Do I want to be able to get into the ship directly from the front? Or do we want to have an area where we come back and around and dock up on the side of it? 1, 2, so we could do that. So
fuel low.
That's not good. I need to be paying.
Fuel critical.
Oh! Alright, that was a little closer than I would have liked. Let's go ahead and get that recharged really quick. Come on. Thank you. Alright. So, okay, so what I was thinking here is, let me grab a few more plates in here. I was thinking, I don't do this often. But maybe we do something like this. We have a hangar door. I may need to bring that back one more. I mean, I guess I don't technically have to. I could... let's go something like this. I think I like this concept a little bit better. And see, the reason why I do this is just as a demonstration. I'm not really worried about that. These can be fully extended, and they'll actually meet here, at least close enough for me to be able to get in and out. And then I can put a doorway here. Let's do... Now I'm going to try and keep this as vanilla as possible. And that is going to mean that this is going to be very small. I'm gonna end up with something like this. And again, it doesn't mean we're actually going to keep all of this in this manner. But I would like to try and get a few things situated here. Because if we go something like that, it should hold that. And we end up going be there. I mean, I guess I could. No, because I want the 202 generators. Actually, do I need to be? Do I need O2? Well, I don't need 202 generators, do I? I really only need one because it's only going to be. Because I'm thinking we may go ion for the. Well, no, because if I go hydrogen, then I can use this anywhere. Decisions. But if I do hydrogen, it also means that I have to build this thing like 6 or 7 blocks longer than I was planning. And use. Basically gonna do this. Always back. So that would extend out. We'd walk in. I'm assuming this is going to be blocked off somehow. You'll be able to come in, close this. I guess it really doesn't matter if it's airtight, huh? Because we're not really doing anything where we have a vent of any kind. But I guess I could always do something with it. So that'll give us a good amount of mining ability. We're trying to set this thing up so that we'll be able to have flight control without, so basically we'll be able to go straight through things without having to back out and expand it. I mean, I get... so if I'm gonna do that, I could just take the mining craft we already have and just attach it. But I want it to be able to pull more resources, so I want a large mining vehicle. Because basically what we're working on right now is a glorified version of this. Which again, if I do ion, I'd be able to basically rebuild this. Which we might end up doing. That could work. Yeah. Let's try that. See, I told you, I'm overthinking it. We want you. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab ion thrusters. We want the small ion, not the large. Okay. And see, this is the thing with the ion thrusters is that they're not small. The question is will we be able to put enough batteries on this in order to keep it from completely eating itself? This means we would need something along these lines. See, we don't have slope thrusters. I'd have to use the mod for that. Man, I guess I could. If we took the O2 generator out. Alright, let me take a look at this thing really quick. How did we do this? We did thrusters on either side. Came back with thrusters. Didn't need to worry about the downward thruster, or the, I guess, upward thrusters. Alright. And did we didn't mount them directly on, no we did, okay. Maybe instead of an O2 station on the other side, we do the survival kit. That could be interesting. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's take some of this apart really quick. So if we do survival kit, and then just do another conveyor junction just to have it there. Alright. So we'd have our spawn point here. What I might do actually is that pipes through there, but I don't think, no, it's not. It only pipes through the sides. So we would have to do that, but once we have that, then we can pipe it through this way. So we'd have our O2 generator there, or maybe, you know what? We could do our O2 generator down here. Let's see. Do I want to be able to see into the O2 generator? Or do I want that? I think I like that. So if we do that, that means we can take that O2 generator out. We can grab that door really quick. And then that allows us to put a window in here, or we could even put a vent in. I guess we could put a vent in it and have the window on the mount it to the outside somehow. But it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference if this is pressurized. That does open up a little bit more for us here. Because if we don't worry about putting the door in, so if we go, if we do that, you come out of there for a second. Let's go you, you. Let me take these out really quick. Right. So this would be where we come in. Yeah, let's just throw that in there right now so that we have it. All right. So you come in here. You have your large cargo. I mean, I guess, well, I guess we could actually if we went. We could make this thing even more compact. I think, maybe. Two. Okay, we don't need the cockpit, we don't need the drill, so we're just gonna... So you'd come in this way. Something like that, maybe. I don't know if I'd need it up there. I think just having that one there will work nicely. So you come in here, you have access to here. Everything's piped in, gives us a spawn point. I could even go so far as to put... No, because I need the thrusters. I want the thrusters to be at least somewhat balanced. But that does give us the ability to have that there. So basically what we're doing is we're trying to figure out where we need everything to be and how we need it all to fit together. All right. And I'm thinking, again, this might work really well, actually. And instead of having it be a, instead of having like a reactor on it, we just have, you know, like 9 batteries or 6 batteries or something on it. So we'd end up with something like this. Wouldn't be able to put that there, but I could do... Because I'm going to need a way to connect all this up to anyway. So we do that. And then... And the same down here. And we can put our thrusters in on either side here. This might work, actually. if we did that. Because the idea is that this thing isn't going to be traveling too far. It really just needs enough power to get where it's going and get back. So we might even be able to get away with taking
Energy low.
that out. No, you know what? I think I like the idea of having these thrusters be a bit more yeah, a bit more recessed, I think is what I'm looking for. Like I said, this isn't necessarily needing to be something ridiculously overdone. Can I get away with that? Oh no, let's see. Do I like it better with something like this? Because we'll have 2 thrusters for descent, 2 thrusters, or even more if we really wanted to. I'll probably tuck a couple of thrusters in over here somewhere. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Still need to put a gyro on it, which, you know, we can throw the gyro over here somewhere. Maybe do something like this. End up with that. Do that, throw a gyro in here. Then we just need to figure out where we want to put the ore detector. We'll probably tuck that in. Actually, we've got a perfect spot for a gyro. We can put gyro right there. See? Okay, I think we have our ship. Now we have a space for the ore detector right here, but we're going to leave that off while we get everything else welded up. Oh, okay. You know what? This episode has run really, really long, but I think what we're going to do is I'm going to do a cut. Let me get this thing welded up, bring you back, and we'll take a look and see if everything looks like it's going to work for us. Okay? So yeah, we'll be right back. Oh, and we're back. So we have welded up a whole lot of stuff. Let me show you exactly what we've got going on over here. So basically, like we said, we were recreating the little miner that we built over there, but with a large grid, and we went with ion instead. So we have gone ahead and welded this whole thing up. Let's just say it's been more than I want to admit to. So I have to say, overall, I think I am actually somewhat happy with it. I will probably decide I need to do something like the like double up the lateral thrusters here, which we actually have the ability to do, I think. Is there any spot over here I'd be able to put another thruster in? Maybe not. I mean, I guess because we're not really piping anything through those anymore. Oh no, we're still piping the center through that, aren't we? Everything comes through either on the top or the bottom. Because I'd want to keep it... yeah. Alright, so we're not going to be able to do that. I might have to come back and pull some of the ceiling panels out. I haven't decided yet. But realistically, we should be okay for now, at least. But we do have everything welded up. Let me show you what we've got going on over here. Actually, I want to make a quick change here for a second, because we are going to do a little preemptive block editing here. Yes. No. Not the one we want. We want this one. Alright. Because we are going to have it go from that to that to that. Yes. Let me make sure that's what I'm wanting it to do. Yes, that is exactly what I am wanting it to do. Okay. And I'll go into what the plan is on this shortly, but let me show you what we've got. So you come in, hopefully. I wonder if I can get like a little, maybe I can put a half ramp there. Can we get away with that? No. Alright. Too bad. Just means we have to jump a little bit. Alright. So when you come in, yes, we are going to put some light in here too. I haven't done that yet. You can hit this first button. It retracts our landing gear, or our landing gear. It retracts our docking bay, or I don't know, boarding ramp? Yeah, I guess boarding ramp. That brings you over here. You know, like I said, it's not meant to be comfortable. It's just meant to be functional. That gets you over here, and you know, you're in the cockpit. So it works. I mean, it's very straightforward. It's really not meant to be anything overly complex. Yes, I could get away with not having this little area here and just go in through the front of the cockpit. But I also wanted to make it so that we could get in and out of it from inside the carrier ship, because otherwise we'd have to kind of dance around with this in order to get into the cockpit over there. So, and getting out, you'd have to do the same thing. And yes, I could rework this so that you had a little bit more space so you could just approach it from the front. But I like the idea of walking into it like an actual cockpit, you know? So let's go here. And do I want this? That might be what we're doing. Alright, so I've been trying to figure out, do I want this to be basically at the front of the ship, or, you know, like as far forward into the bow as you can get, or do I want this midship? And I'm kind of on the fence with it right now, because what I'm thinking is this is going to come out a little bit, and then just like this could be the this could be the external wall area here. Actually, no, that would have to be two more. So you end up with something like this. Or I guess we could, if we really wanted to, we could go with this. Alright, so you'd have your doorway there, you would have that, and then, you know, just as a demonstration, basically have like windows or something here.
Meteor storm inbound.
And I don't have a door on here anymore. You know what's going to happen is it's going to come down behind this thing. Actually, no. Spin you right around here. Alright. So you'd have a doorway here. This will... let me see. If we do... I want it to go up one, so you would have to be out, because we'd want it how would we want that to work? I guess like this. And so, see, this will be the inside of the hangar bay here. And I don't know if I'll... What I'm thinking about is something like this to give us room for the thrusters. And then here you would have these guys run back, and then that basically just gives us a little bit of space for the thrusters so they're not as likely to burn through as quickly. There's always the potential for them to do so, but hopefully. Really? Thank you. You know, and then like I said, we could either do a double layer of windows or something so you could actually see into the hangar bay. But this would give you the ability to then walk back the rest of the ship. You know, maybe have like habitation. Definitely we'll have a flight deck of some kind or a command deck of some type. And I'm thinking that's actually going to sit up as a fly bridge. Unless we do that midship. If we do the mining rig or the mining dock midship, we'll have this come around to the front, and then we'll have just a what is it? A bridge area here on the front of the ship. So, not sure which way I want to go with it. Alright, so if you have any ideas or suggestions, feel free to throw them down in the section below. I think we'll put a poll up too. Let's do a poll. You know, do you want this? Do you want the mining assembler or the mining ship to be forward, midship, or aft? Now, if we do it midship or aft, that does open up the potential for this to be one of two docking bays. So we could do something like this would be one side, and then we would have some space here in the middle for maybe like the recreation, habitation, whatever, and then have another docking area over here. So we could actually have two of these things. If we do it as the front of the ship, I guess we could actually. Do we want to run two poles? We may have to run two poles. Let's run two poles. Do we want to have this be... Do we want to have the ship with two of these mining ships? Like two hangar spaces with mining ships? Or do we only want one hangar space with the mining ship? Because, like I said, if we do this as forward, or actually if we do this anywhere, we can always put an actual docking bay in for like the other ships that weren't built to fly specifically with this craft. Yeah. See? Alright, so yeah, we'll do two poles. The first pole, do we want the hangar to be forward, midship, or aft? The second pole will be, is it only going to be one of these utility hangars, or is it going to be two? So this should be interesting. Alright, so be sure to vote. I will hopefully have the poll up before the video goes live this time. Oh. But either way, feel free to throw your suggestions down in the comments section. If you are new to the channel, be sure you hit that subscribe, especially if you want to do something nice for me today. If you want to be kept up to date with what's going on around here, be sure to ring the bell. YouTube's been hit or miss with it. I know, it doesn't always work, but you never know. But if you enjoyed the episode as well, make sure you hit that like button. Not only do the likes, the comments, and subscriptions help the channel to grow, it lets YouTube know that you're enjoying the content, lets me know you're enjoying the content, and well, that's more important because I'm the one making it for you. So if you're enjoying it, I want to make sure I make more of it for you. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Alright, so this is going to be interesting to see which way the vote goes.